We are live, Sheldon. No chips.
Yes,
Let me go ahead and
sir.
grab my phone. Give a couple of people 1 minute to get on here.
Mm.
Oh boy. I'm gonna,
You got any chips? You happen to have any chips over that
I do
way?
actually have some chips.
I don't have any chips, so
I think there's people gonna be disappointed that you don't have any chips.
we don't have skull caps on either. So
I mean, we're capable of many things.
I could
So
probably put an AI skull cap on. Let's see if
yeah, I'm gonna try to keep an eye on this. All right, give people a couple minutes. So I guess we do we go back
let's
to
bring up the home screen.
uh I can do that. I was actually going to bring up some music while
Can
people are
you?
coming in.
Oh, okay. You got a new joint you want to share?
I don't know that I have anything new per se. Uh, I don't like when this window comes up. I'm getting rid of it. But we do have some crowd favorites.
We
Figure we
do
can just
have
go with this.
we have one. We have one person.
Uh-huh. So tell people, man, if they don't like anything we say, we're gonna give them good music every time. We're gonna give them something.
I'd say let's get this thing cracking.
That's a good segue. All right, Sheldon, what's up, man?
What's up, dude?
It's all good, man. Enjoying this. It's a little chilly this morning here, though. So.
What's the temperature there in sunny Puerto Rico?
If I had to guess, I'm looking at this cloudless sky. I'm going to say kind of feels like 83, 84,
All right, we don't
something
want to
like
hear
that.
any of that here in St. Louis.
Y'all did good there around Christmas. Almost, you got up to 70, 75 almost.
Yeah, yeah,
I
it
just
was
figured
nice, and
something.
then
I just figured something apocalyptic had to happen after that. Like you can't have
it
weather
did.
that
The
nice.
bottom fell out.
Yeah,
It
there you go.
dropped 61 degrees in like 2 hours.
Yep. So, all right. So let's move. Let's move on then. So we decided to do this kind of in the middle of the afternoon. I mean, it's kind of holiday, a lot of people off, but we also know that, like, I already know some people that are like, am I going to be able to see the replay? So let's jump into this. So we're going to talk today about Complete Prompt Pro, which is really the language you hear us talking about quite often. We talk about easy buttons. We really want to create easy buttons for people. One, just in the AI space itself, if you're using it effectively, the first thing you get, in my opinion, Sheldon, I'm interested in your opinion. The first thing that you get is speed, right? And because you get speed, then you get time, right? You get time back that you can reinvest in other things. And then as you work your way up, it's like I get more value, more capability, more possibility, more ideas of things that I can do. Like just the sit and think about stuff that you can do and ideate. AI helps you do that. And so when we talk about prompting, it is the primary skill that's necessary to get the most out of any AI. So we're talking about these LLMs, the Chat GPTs, the Geminis, the co-pilots, the Claudes, the tools like that. And I know people prompt and they think that they're really good at it, but we're going to demonstrate to you. You might not be as good as you think, but with a tool like this, that learning curve to really become super effective, not necessarily a prompt engineer, but to become a little bit better than average or proficient, it's still a bit of an uphill climb. So, Sheldon, from your perspective, what was it like for you when you first got introduced to, this generative AI where you're at the prompt, facing off with Chat GPT or a tool like that?
Yeah, interesting question. So I think I was just about where everyone else was. The one advantage I had was I was working on a generative AI solution. So, understanding the art of the possible, you knew it had more capabilities than you were able to bring out of it. The tool like ChatGPT, I mainly used it for emails and image creation and things like that until I understood the capabilities of an LLM, how to train an LLM, how to detect hallucinations and things like that. So, and I'll just say I was like everyone else. I copy paste my response to an email into Chat GPT and say, make it sound good, right?
Hmm.
Make it
Right,
sound more professional, make it sound more casual, make it sound more conversational, and then take that, paste it back into your Outlook and clean it up and send off your email. The other thing I would do is I would look at, okay, I need to summarize a lot of information quickly. So I would say, I've attached a spreadsheet or I've attached a document. Give me the key talking points from this document, or the key information that I should focus on from this document. And I would get those bullet points and do that. But once we started Optivus and started working with tools to develop, what I call smart applications that don't just
hmm
do what you ask, they think. Then I started to really see where my prompts were deficient. And one of the key things was thinking that because I put in a sentence and I got a decent outcome, that I had done my job, right? That, okay, I got what I need. But then after
right,
seeing what was possible through, say, complete prompt, for example, taking what I would have normally put in an LLM, taking that through this application, and then seeing the output not only from the app, but taking that information, putting it into an LLM, and seeing the output from the LLM, I understood that,
right,
yeah, I wasn't doing much of anything.
right. And I think also because we code, right? Like we build our
Yeah,
tools using AI. So your ability to be able to provide sufficient information. So you mentioned one thing in particular, which is context, right? So for anyone who's doing any prompting, when we talk about context, we're talking about the information that you add to a prompt when you're putting it in the LLM. And so that could be a document that's a writing sample of how you write because you wanted to mimic your style. It could be a spreadsheet that has data that's going to be analyzed. It could be a proposal, it could be a contract, right? When you're giving it contextual information, and even from a more personal perspective, providing that information helps, right? If you're going to just take a trip, you're going to use, an LLM to help you plan that trip. You might say, oh, this person, we have a group with these people, they have these interests, they only want to spend this type of money. That's context, right? The more that you provide. But what we want to sit on now is to talk about personas and the power of a persona. That really changed it and kind of opened it up for me when you could say, okay, if I'm going to do some, financial analysis, let's say, then you can, most people learn to say, you are a financial analyst or you are, a corporate accountant, comma, do this, right? You're kind of telling the LLM to take on this persona, take on this character, and now behave in this way. But what we've done with complete prompt is to take that a little bit further. So we're going to jump in, and maybe I think we can still wrap this up in about 30 minutes, unless you guys start asking this question. Let's see, we have some people on. So, uh,
yeah. And I'll
and it's
say,
cool.
Jerry, real quick, that there's
Yeah.
a lot of people that don't even do that. The persona piece, you are a, they just
Right.
say analyze this information and boom, put it in there, which
Yeah, but
doesn't
it has a
give you
profound
the limit
impact.
scope.
It
Yeah,
has a profound impact on the output that you get. And I think that's why a lot of individuals, professionals, companies even are not as trusting of the AI technology because they don't know this one piece. Like this is really the on ramp to turning this into a superpower. And as an individual, as a professional, as a business owner, like what we're about to show you, this can become the most significant cheat code you could ever have. And I think that our problem from this is even getting testimonials from people will be difficult because they won't want people to know they're using a tool like this. And I don't know that you should get a complete prop T-shirt. To be honest with you, like the what you're going to see here is it's really going to show you some stuff. So I was thinking we are going to go through some of this, but you all can read, right? But I think if we start here and we're just on the landing page, so if you go to completepromptpro.com, you'll see exactly what I'm looking at. But again, these are the issues, right? It's hard to write great prompts. Right. I had someone tell me last week that they thought that a rule was like you don't create a prompt that's more than like a short paragraph long and you let AI figure out the rest. Right.
yeah,
That's fake news, right? That's just false information out there. There's nothing could be further from the truth. And we answer that by giving you really a six-step wizard and more than 170 expert personas, and that's what really starts to unlock the power of complete prompt. We're going to show you that, right? Inconsistent AI results. Because we have a structured prompt framework and a way for you to be able to save prompts, now you can standardize. And because complete prompt will allow you to share with teammates or people you're doing business with or friends or family, now everyone can exercise the exact same prompts and get very consistent results. And then again, this also speaks to the reuse because we have this library. You can favorite them, you can rate them. So there's a lot of things that you can do from that perspective. And then this is sort of the process that you go through, right? Describe your goal, what it is that you want to accomplish. You choose your expert, you pick a category, you set the tone, you select the format, and then you generate, right? But we make all of this very, very easy for you. All right, so
yep,
let's just jump in, dude.
yep.
All right, I think I may have to log in here. I do, but I've done this so many times.
Well, now the whole world has your credentials, so that's all
Nah,
good.
they really don't. They don't.
Nah.
So before we start, because you gave me a couple sample prompts, I have just
Yeah.
one. And it's like being at like out at a piano bar. If you guys have a request to say do a prompt like this, then we'll do that. But this is your list of experts. And while some of you, if you're on your phones, not on the computer, you probably can't see this. So I'm just going to go through some of these very quickly again. There's over 170 of these, right? So let's start at the top. And yeah, some of them don't have images because their photos are still being worked on.
So, and
But
just
let's
real
come up.
quick, when you
Yeah,
say
go ahead.
these are your experts, what do you mean?
Exactly. So these are effectively the personas. So this would be the you are an accountant, comma. That's where we spend a lot of time, right? So I'm going to pick one. So let's just say Ahmed Hassan. So VP of Sales and Business Development, right? You can see he's got an MBA, blah, blah, blah. You see sales strategy. But let's look at his details really quickly, right? And so basically what you're looking at is almost like a little mini resume, right? Of Ahmed here. We see his communication style, a sample approach, but you can see the different areas of expertise that he's qualified for. I'm just going to go up the screen and randomly pick one. Um, David Chen, a certified financial planner. All right, let's look at his details. All right, CFP certification, MBA in finance from Wharton, 12 years experience. So all of this information, this context gets built into the prompt. So you can see his areas of expertise, financial planning, investment management, retirement planning, tax strategy, wealth building. And another way to look at this would be to explore the areas of expertise. So we have strategic planning, business development, customer experience, system design, but there's certified, like life coaches and career coaches in here. There's concierge, there's travel experts in here. So basically anything that you want to do, we have expertise or personas in here and we're adding to these all the time. I think we first started, there might have been 60. Now there's over 170 of them because we wanted to be comprehensive. All right,
Right.
let's just do a prompt. I'm going to do your first one. And we did these ahead of time just so we could save time. So if
This
I
is the
can,
product manager, correct?
it is. So
Yep.
let's just talk about the process here. So again, you're establishing your goal first. So I know Sheldon's prompt, so I know he's going to want to do a business strategy, but we're using these as anchor starting points, right? But again, super simple. Pick one of these. So we're going to go with business strategy because I already know what his prompt is. We always give you something to start with. So I'm going to paste his in. Now I'm just going to say, when I saw your
Tell you
prompt,
what,
Sheldon,
let's yeah, let's go with the product management prompt, which is, I mean,
that's it. It says
persona,
I'm a
which
product
is
manager getting ready to launch a new SaaS
right,
tool.
the lower. Look at the lower, the one at the lower. I guess that'll be right on my screen. Go back
Oh,
up
product manager.
next
Okay,
to
this one.
HR.
Okay.
Yes, yes,
So
that
you
one.
want this one, the product management one. Okay,
Yes,
there you
for
go. All
this
right.
particular prompt. Yes.
My bad. All right. Okay, so choose your goal, put it in. You can literally put in a sentence or two, right? The screen will start off kind of
Mhm.
yellowish, reddish. And then once you've typed in enough characters, it'll give you this thing saying perfect length. We don't need a lot from you. If you fill this up, you can put like up to 1,000 characters in here. You fill this up, it's going to be even better, but you don't have to put a lot in here. This is why we keep it simple, right?
And I will say that that's what I would have normally put into an LLM, say a year ago. That
Okay.
right there.
Okay. And so the next piece is, because we are going to copy this prompt from complete prompt into the LLM of your choice, ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, Claude, DeepSeek, or whatever. Um, what is it going to get? We're not going to have an attachment, but you could attach a reference document, an image, a spreadsheet, or another image for a writing sample, and you can select up to two of these, and that'll impact the prompt that you're going to get. And this is a real interesting piece about the attribution. When the output comes out of the LLM, do you want it to write as you? Do you want it to write as the expert that you're going to choose, or you with the expert? So you have those options as well. But let's just keep moving through this. I want to get to the prompt. All right, Shelly, you want to talk about what we're choosing between here? Because this
Yeah,
this
we're
is
gonna
actually when
choose
this is what blew my mind when I realized that you could do this.
right.
I didn't know you could
Yeah,
do
this
this.
very powerful. And if you've used a lot of like Chat GPT, you know that anything you put in, typically you get the great idea, and it's I don't care what it is, it's always a very positive
Right,
output from it. But what this single expert, dual expert debate gives you is it's like checking itself. It's like saying, yeah, this is positive, but you need to look at it a different way, so that expert persona will come in with a different perspective to check this thing so that everything doesn't come out as, yeah,
right,
building dog houses out of soda cans is the best idea in the world.
right.
And you should do it and you'll make millions of dollars. Because a lot of times
Yeah.
some of these LLMs can be very, very optimistic and
They're
you need that.
overly optimistic, and I think it can
Yeah.
lead people down a dark road. And we'll the next one we'll do, we'll use the debate feature. Um, so let's just move on with the single expert, and we'll come out and back and talk about this. So we'll go with the single expert. Now, what complete prompt is going to do is it's going to look at um, what you typed in for your goal, and it's going to recommend who they think are good matches for this type of prompt. So I'm just going to go with the senior product manager,
Yeah,
if you're okay with
that's
that.
great. Yep.
Okay. All right. So we select that. Then we're going to choose the category. So to me, this is a business strategy, but what do you want? Okay, product. It's already
Yep.
suggesting product management and
Yep.
design.
And that's what
I
I
think
would
we
go
should
with.
go with that.
Yep.
Who developed this?
I don't know.
All
Some little
right.
company in
All
St.
right. It's not
Louis.
going to tell you this one though. So okay, what tone do we want? And this is another thing that people miss when they're prompting when they're typing at the keyboard. Professional, casual, technical, creative, persuasive, analytical, collaborative, supportive, authoritative, empathetic, strategic, inspirational. Do you want to be inspired? You want to be diplomatic, visionary,
So,
consultative? Which one do you
the
want?
thing about being in product management, what it requires is that you be an evangelist of whatever product you are managing, right? You have to be the one that generate the interest, that get the investment to build that thing. So you're either going to be persuasive or
Inspirational.
inspirational.
Which one do you
Yeah,
want? It's your prompt.
I would say let's go with inspirational for now.
All right, let's go. All right, last one. What's our
Hmm.
format? You want an email, a blog post, social media, a report, presentation, a personal
I'd say
plan?
I'd say let's go with report. I think that'd be the best one.
Okay. All right. And this is where it gets interesting.
Really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the prompt has been created. All right. Um, and you can see before we even open this, this prompt is 579 words long.
All
All right.
right.
I
Versus
don't
what I
think,
gave you, which is what I
right,
would have put.
which is like 3 sentences, right?
Yeah.
So if we go
Yeah.
back,
Yeah.
we can look at the anatomy of the prompt, how this was put together. You can see what you selected. You can go back and change something if you want. But actually, let's take a second and look at the prompt itself, right? We're not going to go through all of this because we want to move this along. We're simply wanting to show you the power of this tool. So again, you're an AI system with expertise from Alex Thompson, a senior product manager, and is kind of going through again Alex's credentials, communication style, methodology. So that's our persona, right? That's much more than you're a product manager, comma, right?
Right.
And then the user context, right? So now it's taking things out of my personal profile, right? Which includes, the team context, small team, technology, authoritative and confident is my communication preference. And my key audience is prospects and clients, right? So this is again information that you're not typically going to, most users aren't going to add all this. And then we get
Right.
into the context. This is the original request from Sheldon. And then the tone, inspirational. We see that motivating and uplifting, communication style, uplifting language, focusing on possibilities. And it's giving it examples of phrases to use. And then the guidelines, which is another thing most people don't consider when they're prompting, is helping to shape the structure of this output. More critical guidance, again, pause your screen later if you want to go see this, but I want to keep moving through here. And then the final instructions applies expertise, addresses specific user needs, is practical, all these wonderful, wonderful things, right? So then we're going to come down here, and in your profile, you can kind of set up. These are the LLMs that I use. So I use Perplexity. So that's what's in my profile. Now, here's another interesting thing about this. Let's say there's something about this. It's like now that I think about it, I think I want to reshape part of the methodology from Alex or my original request. You can make edits to this right before you send it off or before you save it, and that way you have your changes as well. But let's just go ahead and open this and I'm just going to go with the simple one because if we use one of our research things, we'll be here a while waiting on this output, Sheldon.
Yep.
But I still love Perplexity because it just went out and looked at 20 sources, right?
So here you go.
Right. So I have my executive summary. I have the pre-launch preparation, right? Concrete steps, clarify positioning and offer, build and prepare a small beta, prepare onboarding and support, launch announcement strategy. There's a lot of information in here already. I'm looking how far my this thing is going to go down the screen. So it's laying out a launch plan for you, what you should be doing post launch. So just notice how comprehensive and useful this information is compared to what you would have gotten if we had just typed in. If we had more time, we'd have just put your prompt in and gotten that response and do the other one. But I think people looking at this can pretty immediately see how comprehensive that output is, right? So the other thing that I can do
Right.
is I can now save this to my library. Uh, hope I spelled that right. And this is when we talk about the standardization piece of this. So I can go back and look at this again at a later time and reuse it more effectively, right? So I can save it to my library. I can rate the prompt. If I want to try it in another LLM, I can do that. These are the ones that we have um, loaded up into the system currently. All right, so we got that one. Let me close this. All right, So let's go back. I'm going to grab your next prompt.
Okay, and I'm gonna see if anyone on the call has something they want us to do on the fly. We're happy to do it because I think seeing what it could do for you specifically is more powerful than the even the canned ones that we've come up with. So
Yeah.
just drop it in the comments. We'll copy paste it in here, and you can see what the outcome would be.
Yeah. I want to make sure I can see all the comments.
I don't see any yet, but
Don't be shy, folks.
even the can. Oh, sorry.
Mm, okay. So we're going to move on to your next prompt.
Yep.
Do you remember what it was?
Yep. And this should be a business strategist here.
Okay.
All right.
So what do we have here? I'm an independent business consultant working with a small local
That's
consulting firm that
local
wants to grow
firm.
revenue next year. I'm new to AI, need help thinking through basic growth strategy for them. Can you help me outline a simple plan that covers ideal customers, main services to focus on, marketing ideas, and a few? Okay. All right. I got it. No attachment again. We're going to continue to write as you so we can move through, but we're going to debate this one.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's dual expert it.
This is what I love because this is the thing. I haven't read a lot of these, and then they are long. Um, they're not nice to each other. They're not mean, but when they're debating, like they get in there and they knock it up, man. It's pretty interesting to see. All right, so excellent matches. So we have a management consultant, a strategy advisor. We have an e-commerce strategy and growth director, and we're choosing two of these: head of revenue operations, strategic business consultant. Who do you? I kind of like Sarah
I
or
like
Raj.
Sarah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sarah and
Okay, so we have to choose two. So we need a second one because they're going to debate. Raj, I've run one with both of them before, and it was really solid, really solid.
let's use Raj then. Let's use Raj. That's cool.
All right, all right. So we have our two experts. All right. Now, here's the thing. It's kind of like I'm gonna call it like a battle royale. We get to set the rules for how they're going to do this debate. And again, uh, this is truly a superpower because again, most people don't know that these LLMs can do that. And we're providing you a structure to be able to better design what that debate and that output will look like. So from the analysis, well, let's start here with the debate structure. Is it a dialogue? Is it sequential where each expert provides a full analysis and then they're compared, compare and contrast, side by side comparison across key topics, or is it collaborative? The experts work together to build a unified solution, like a peace on earth sort of thing, or just back and forth conversation with the experts. You get to choose. Which one do you want?
I say let's go with dialogue. Why not?
Okay.
Unless you have a collaborative. I like them both.
Okay. Now the analysis depth, the rounds. If you want this quick, they can do a two rounder. They can go 3 to 4 rounds. They can go 5+ rounds and just keep battling it out.
Let's go with the standard deal. Let's
All
go
right,
with the
3 to 4
standard deal
rounds.
because we
Okay. So
got a
now,
little
from a
time here.
a consensus approach perspective, are they seeking agreement, embracing differences, or is this going to be balanced?
I say balanced.
Ah, God, he's so nice. Okay. Yeah, I kind of wanted to see them get a little, spice it up.
Well,
All right. No, it's cool.
we
Let
can
them,
definitely
hey,
spice it up.
look, it's the season. Peace on earth and goodwill to all men. So let's do that. All right. What's your category? Is this a business
Definitely
strategy? Is it?
business strategy. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
business strategy. Yeah.
Okay. And I think you guys, if you've been watching, you're kind of getting the idea of this already, right? Choose the tone now. Now, this is where
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like. So we have consultative, right? That could be useful
Mm-hmm.
here. Authoritative, because they are going to be, kind of going at it. It could be diplomatic if you want them to soften it a bit. It could be strategic. And the thing is, you can always go back and run these multiple times by just changing some of these
Mm-hmm.
parameters, right? You're going to give yourself quite the pile of reading, but all right, you got it. But you got to choose one, Chief.
Let's go with strategic.
Okay. And we're going to get a I'm just, can we just guess
Yeah,
this is
let's
going to
get a
be a report?
report.
Or do you want a case study? Do you want a white paper? You want action steps?
Report is
Because you were kind
fine.
of asking for a plan, right? What do you want?
Yeah, let's do action steps. Let's do action steps then.
Okay. That would be interesting from a debate perspective to see how they
Yeah,
come
what
up
are
with
they
that.
recommending we do
All right.
next?
Now, this is the always the big reveal when you do a debate, right? So the last prompt was 500 and something or four something, whatever. This prompt is just shy of 1,000 words. So
Yeah,
we're
and
now
I would have put
stepping
that
into the
with
arena of
sentencing and
super
not
prompts.
debated it initially. Right.
Well, but again, we can see what's in here, right? Their areas of expertise. So we have both of our experts, right? Sarah Williams, we have Raj, right? We have the information about me, the user, category business strategy, the original request, um, and then the opening. This is, please, people use this thing so you can see this, right? But I love this piece where they just kind of come out their opening statements right before they start the debate. Think it's entertaining to me, but it's still useful because they're going to present in your output like you're talking to people who really do have the backgrounds that you've seen in their expert persona profiles. But then just this is all the stuff around the rules, what they're going to do, how many rounds, keep it clean, no hitting under the belt, that sort of thing. But let's just go ahead and run this. And I think we'll end up doing a third, and only because I think for this one, I'm going to keep it on the simple. I'm not going to have it do the super deep thing, and we may get an output. But they got some talking to do. That's going to take a little bit of time. Step one, define the growth horizon. And they just kind of jump right in, right? Sarah's saying from a strategic perspective, the long-term vision requires that I start with a clear quantified revenue goal for the next 12 months and work backwards into concrete goals, right? That's information we didn't provide per se. The roadmap to success involves this, and then Raj is that from a growth perspective, I want that revenue target broken down into marketing and sales math models. So you can already see they're starting from different angles of what this request was. And then he says positioning for future growth means tying these numbers into a digital funnel metrics, even if the firm is local. So you can already see that they're starting from two very different perspectives. So step two, clarify from, and it just, I'm not going to read all this to you folks. If you're interested in the output, you can get that from us. But they're going to continue to just go back and forth. Um, this is step three. This is step four. This is step five. I want to see how far they went. They've gone 7 rounds of this. And because
Yeah.
of the output and the method that we use, this is actually shorter. I've run these and it takes 10, 15 minutes for it to finish this analysis. I'm looking at to see if we have any questions or comments from anybody. Um,
Anything.
yeah. So then it's at step 10, and this is the neat thing about it, right? So there's all that reading from the debate that's happened above. There's always going to be synthesis of it, bringing it all together. So that's step 10, synthesis and integrated recommendation. So now it's going to take what both of them have contributed. Um, and it's interesting because we're in perplexity. So it's talking about me specifically here. I think that's always
Yeah.
hilarious. Um,
It knows who you are, so which is
yeah,
good once you build your profiles in these LLMs.
yeah, that's another little trick of ours. So you get a basic idea. And again, if we were running this, in real life, we would have provided it more data about the client, their business model, their past successes, their known issues, and give these experts more to go on. But we wanted to give you a basic flavor of this. All right. So I'm going to put you on the spot here, Sheldon, and ask you. What surprised you most when we started to use this tool? What did you get out of this that you're just like, oh, this is really
Well,
valuable?
I think one simplicity, right? It was taking I wouldn't have typed 1,000 word prompt in any LLM ever. And
Right.
it's almost like training the LLM, or when we say LLM, we're talking large language models. These are things like Chat GPT, Perplexity, and stuff like that. But I would have never given it that level of focus in order to get back what I wanted.
Right.
And seeing the difference in the output and putting a general sentence in what
Ooh.
the output that I get from
Oh,
a complete prompt or
I just lost him.
Venta
I think
is.
I did that accidentally. Let me see if you're back. Are
Okay.
you back?
Am I back?
It might be on me. I can't hear you.
Can
They
you
might be able to hear you. I can't.
I don't know what you did different.
Touching stuff. All right, I got you back now, though. My bad.
Do you?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying that just looking at the simplest, how simple it is to get the output that you want when you focus that LLM into a specific area, so it knows where to research, what to research, and it brings back what you're looking for versus some generic or very generalized answer. That was one of the surprises in tools like Complete Prompt or even Me Spinta, which we have as a free tool. The thing that I found though is then what do you do with that next, right? So I take that information, like what you just saw, and put that into another tool to create that compelling, say, presentation that I want to take into a client, or to create a marketing plan that I want to take into a client that has requested we provide some consulting in the marketing space, and or even like for product, if they're launching a product, that product plan or that strategy around launching that product, I would turn that into something compelling using another tool. But you give it the context, you get the output, and then you can start to really do some things and get to a place in a matter of maybe minutes or hours that it would take a different consultant weeks oftentimes to get to. So the speed with which you can deliver because of a tool like Complete Prompt it's unmatched out here.
All right. Yeah, I think for me, it's certainly, again, an easy button, but while it provides the output, so for me, I feel like I'm learning all the time. One is I'm learning how to prompt better, but just in reading these much more comprehensive, much more focused, much more accurate outputs, I feel that it's helping me to be better. And because we have all these experts, I'm like, okay, what's the conversation? I feel like there's something that I can contribute, right? If it turns legal, we have Lord knows how many legal experts. If it goes into something very specific with sales, even if I'm using it just to educate myself, then I have access to that expertise. And that's the thing I really want people to see is like you have access now to this, like just imagine a huge room full of all these people with all of this experience. And it's just okay, what is it that you want to know? How can we help you? Like
Right.
I used it last week to I used it last week as the basis of creating what has now become one of our new tools with HitStation, which is the lyric writer that started in Complete Prompt, right? Asking it to create a different type of persona with a playbook that I could take into another LLM that kept going. And then within a couple of hours, we had the framework of a new product. I wanted to do one last one before we go, Sheldon. I think I chose education and training, something real simple, right? I need help planning a team building exercise for the department meeting. I have about 15 minutes and want to do something fun and engaging. So again, let's just move to this really quickly. Single prompt. Um, uh, I don't like those. Let me see if I can go with. If I go with people who are certified personal training. This is the one. Uh, Yeah, so if you don't get a recommendation that you want, you can just start to type in expertise and you'll get access to the rest of the list. I want it to be creative. What do I want here? Let's go with creative. Uh, I'm thinking casual right off
I'm
the
thinking
rip.
casual
Yeah,
or creative. There's a creative there too. It's at the top. So the
yeah. Let's do that one. Uh, we don't have time for this, but I would do. I'm going to do it presentation style. But if we had time, we'd actually build the presentation, right? I'd have you throw this in the Gamma, and we'd have us a
yep
presentation in no in no time. All right,
minutes.
555 words from two sentences. All right, so I'm just gonna open this in Perplexity and just go ahead and run it, and see what we get here really quickly, and then we'll pack this up. So if you have interest in this, we have about like we still have to build the user guide, nail down some of the pricing stuff, but we would like to get 5 users who would want to participate in some of this last final testing that we have to do. So if you're interested in that, if you go to completepromptpro.com, and wherever it tells you to get started, or the buttons you see on the landing page, like where you saw me sign in, you'll see a box under there to be added to our waiting list. That'll give us awareness that you have interest in being involved. So completepromptpro.com, get to the sign on screen and then hit the waiting list button. um oh, I should have known, dude. I should have known.
What's that?
Because it's Perplexity, so it actually created my
Yes, it
presentation
created
for
the
me.
it created the presentation. Yeah.
Right. So here's your quick fire energy boost, 15-minute team building exercise. 15 minutes matter, breaks up the meeting monotony, builds psychological safety, demonstrates that you got it. Option one. Okay, so it gave me the output and as a presentation, not giving me the
Mhm.
presentation for my thing. All right, the paper airplane challenge, um, two truths and a lie lightning round, got that. The marshmallow challenge, um, speed preference polling, making it work, your setup checklist. So it's just giving you prep for others. So we got a much simpler output because we asked for it in presentation mode. And again, Perplexity is about that life. So that's
Yeah,
that's
and
that's
I
what it
think
gave you.
I guess what we're hearing for those that may want to help us, build this out, 85 to 90% reduction in creating those in time to create those deliverables. And you just even saw that with what Jerry just did.
Hmm.
Um, 3 to 5 times better content output. We're seeing executive presence accelerations, the ability to produce board ready reports in 3 hours versus 2 or more days. Um, we also, especially powerful for strategic thinkers and people that are tactical executors.
Right.
Um, and some of the other things that we're hearing is, just how people show up. They're showing up better. They're able to present their ideas better, more likely to get promoted based on the support they're getting from a tool like this. Um, and just be able to command higher compensation, being seen more as a thought leader and not just a tactical executor. So there's a lot of benefit to having this easy button, as Jerry calls it, in your hand. And
Hmm.
this kind of, I call it the cheat code. It's the if you're playing Madden, it's the hit tap the X twice, hit the triangle, hit the back button, and he does a
Right.
move that no one can tackle. So that's what this does.
Yeah. So again, there's saving time, there's saving money, that there's making money, right? So the next one of these we're going to do is on this particular product is talking about some of the ways that someone could use a tool like this to actually earn money, to show you how to really tap into the power of this. But again, if there's interest, completepromptpro.com, and just add your name to the waiting list. This will be on the Optivus page, in LinkedIn, our Optivus page in Facebook, my page on Facebook, Sheldon's page on Facebook. If there's other people that would benefit from knowing that this tool even exists, point them to one of our pages so they can take a look at this replay. All right, you'd be doing them a huge favor. And again, we know it's the sort of thing some people start using it, they're not going to tell everybody about it. Nor it kind of doesn't help us when they don't do that, but
Mhm.
we kind of get it, right? These are the things that are kind of talked about in the shadows. It is, if you really understand it, then you know why I'm saying it. It really is that powerful. All right.
Yep.
So with that, I think we've done good, man. We're right at 45 minutes. So we're
Not
gonna get
bad.
us some outro music. You got anything, any final words?
Just try it out. If you're listening, try it out. And, and feedback is everything to us, right?
Right.
If you got ideas, we take them and we research and we act upon them. So
Yeah, and let
that's
me say
really
this
all.
too. We are very much part of our philosophy and mindset is that the rising tide raises all ships. So for people who work with us, partner with us, promote us, we find ways to make you part of the good. So that could be, limited cost to get access to a tool, could be free usage of a tool for a period of time. If you're bringing us customers, could be finder's fees. We expect to have affiliate programs. So, if we're making money effectively, you're making money. So I'm very much the rising tide raises all ships. So we want to do this as much from a almost a community perspective, if you will. So just from talking about us to others in an intentional way, could bring some good back to your life and even to your wallet. Very, very committed to that. All right. So with that, we out of here, man. You good?
Yep. Yeah, I'm good.
Sheldon, don't you have a meeting? Go on, man. Gonna get one. I'm just enjoying the music. But no, I'm going to close this out. Seriously. I was waiting for a good place to do that. Thank you. Look at that. My partner just left me. All right, now that he's gone, let me tell you. No, I'm just messing with you. No, I'm messing with you. Yeah, this replay will be out there uh, for a minute just to make sure that everybody can get to it. All right. Appreciate you guys. I am out of here. What's up, Kai, Tracy, Gracie, Elaine, G, the other G, Dion? Yeah, pass this on up. That'll help us the most. All right. Peace. Because it just find another tool that does this. It's not gonna happen. We're in a very innovative space here. We want you guys to be part of it. All right. We out.